QI. Tonight we look through both telescope and microscope at the quite interesting world of little and large. Joining us tonight are the gigantic Phil Jupiters, the massive Richard Osman, the Titanic Lucy Porter, and, oh my gosh, he's so teeny-weeny I could squish him, Alan Davies. Now, let's go large on your little buzzers. Phil goes.
A little time with me.
Big spender. Richard goes.
Big John. Big John. Big Bad John.
Lucy goes.
Big girls don't cry. Big girls don't cry.
And Alan goes.
It was an
Lovely. Now, during this L series of QI, we have a spend a penny joker. You should use it if you think one of the answers in today's show is of a lavatorial bent. So, what's the largest native land animal that you'll find all year round on Antarctica?
I don't think there are any land animals on Antarctica. Humans? Human beings?
Oh! I did say...
The line between clever and stupid is so thin.
I did say native. Obviously, there are humans.
I beg.
Yeah, there are natives.
It's a penguin, a big penguin.
Ow!
I mean, right, OK, so it's not that because I made the evil siren go off.
Would there be whales?
A whale isn't a land animal.
If the water melts really quickly, it is.
I will give you a clue. You've already said penguin, but it's a flightless animal, but it's not a big mammal.
Given that it is big and little and large, is it very wee?
It is actually very small, although it's the largest.
Is it krill? I just like saying krill.
I like saying krill, too.
Is it a mosquito or something?
It's an insect. You're in the right direction. It's like a mosquito. Mosquitoes are like... If you go to Scotland, what do you get?
A ladybird.
Midge. It's a midge.
It's a... a midge.
Belgica, Antarctica. The Belgian, as you might say, midge. There it is. It's wingless, flightless. It's a midge. And the point is, it's native to Antarctica. There are all kinds of animals, like humans, like penguins, that spend a bit of their time in Antarctica. Penguins only 25% of the time. 75% of their time, they're at sea. They're not a land animal.
Ah, but we're married to the sea. Penguins, we love the life. Away from our nagging wives with their beaks and their wings sitting on eggs.
There they are. Oh, bless. What is it about them that is so endearing?
They're delicious. That's good eating.
Talking of humans not being native to Antarctica, there's a story the other day about the American scientist who's there and he decided to turn Tinder on. You know Tinder, the dating app.
Oh, yes.
And he got a date with a woman in a tent 45 minutes away. He was also...
You're kidding me. That's hilarious.
That'd be great if she came up and he went, nah, swipe right.
swipe.
Grinder, however, all penguin.
Yeah. But if they were to mate, say, have a child, raise that child there, suddenly...
That child would be endemic or native to Antarctica.
Yeah, and by the time this goes out on Dave, everyone will be like... What about the Tinder baby? Midge. Yeah, Tinder baby.
You're right. I have to pull it in.
They've got Wi-Fi, that's the best thing about that.
Yeah, Wi-Fi on Antarctica.
That's good going.
Yeah, it is
The penguins
impressive.
are all hooked up. They're all the same.
Their version of Tinder is called Pick Up a Penguin.
Very good. So, now, identify the world's biggest gas bag.
Oh, Lord. John McCruick.
It's a very good answer.
An actual bag of actual gas.
That would probably be the best way to go. Without... without hinting too much.
I presume something like the Hindenburg, an airship, an enormous airship. Perhaps.
Well, kind of like an airship, yes, though in fact even bigger. This is the biggest such device ever constructed
Is
by
it the
man.
one that Bruce Dickinson from
Is it
Iron
old?
Maiden is involved with?
How extraordinary you are. No. But I'm very impressed that you should know of that.
Now, I met him about 5 years ago. He said he was invested a huge amount of money, and it's about 200 feet, like 300 feet long or something. It's absolutely enormous. There's pictures of it. It looks like an arse, the way it's
That's
built.
it. It does. There it is, like an
hangar.
arse.
But it's in a hangar that's so big it has its own climate.
Yes.
Has clouds and
Yeah.
all sorts of...
Why, oh, why, oh, why?
Did he do it? Well, because for commercial reasons.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
to
it
replace...
goes 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's like properly quite impressive.
Have they sorted out the whole, you know, Hindenburg
No,
fiery
they
death
decided
element?
not to worry about it.
It can carry 50 tons. It can stay in the air for 3.5 weeks. But the difference between that and the Hindenburg is, do you know? What the,
It's not full of
gas.
hydrogen,
Well,
I
that's
take
it. The Hindenburg and the earlier airships are full of hydrogen, which is incredibly flammable. I mean, not just incredibly or intensely, but incredibly.
Well, that's which is why it blew up.
That's why it blew up, because it was incredibly flammable.
What have I told you about reading Jabberwocky before you present it?
It's incredibly dangerous.
So, yes, that was a really good interruption.
Is this
as
a
it were.
naturally occurring gas bag?
No, it isn't. It is the biggest ever bag of gas created by humankind.
Does it have a purpose? So it has a purpose other than storing the gas?
It had a purpose in as much as it broke 3 records, which are better remembered than this record. What are the 3 records you might think of in terms of a balloon?
Height, distance,
Yes.
and
Height,
number
distance.
of deaths.
There were no deaths. There were no deaths in this case.
Is it loudest pop?
Not...
Most excited child?
Who jumped out of a really high balloon?
Oh,
Felix Baumgartner.
Yeah.
Felix Baumgartner is the right answer. This is the, yeah. So Felix Baumgartner, there he is. He fell from a greater height than anyone has ever fallen.
Right.
He achieved a greater speed than anyone has fallen, which made him the first man ever to what?
Break the sound barrier.
Break the sound barrier unaided. And it was the highest balloon ascent ever. Those are 3 records. The highest balloon ascent, biggest free fall.
You know what else it was, Stephen?
What's that?
It was incredibly dangerous.
But it was the largest balloon ever constructed. And let's have a look at how big it was. It was bigoted.
Whoa.
It was bigoted than the Statue of Liberty.
It was more bigoted than the statue.
What is the
What is going on? Just get rid of this one, get another one in.
Give me your paw, you're
warehouse
tired, and
needs
tell them to piss off.
What they call it in Carry On World is the Statue of Diabolical Liberty. Anyway, it is gigantic. It's almost as tall as St Paul's Cathedral, but taller, as you can see, the Statue of Liberty by a few feet. But the comparison with the Hindenburg is interesting, which is one... You know the Hindenburg you mentioned, I think, didn't you? There's the Hindenburg. And the Hindenburg burst into flames catastrophically in New Jersey at the Lakehurst Naval Air Station. There it is. I mean, just awful. It was so sophisticated inside, incredible.
That is sophisticated.
Yeah, and they even had a cigarette lighter, although it was hydrogen, one of those flammable gases there is. But it was chained.
Cigarette, yes please.
I like to live
What's that smell? Can anyone smell gas? Don't be absurd.
The cigarette lighter was chained to one place, so you could go up and light your cigarette. But everyone wore special shoes that didn't create friction and static electricity to create a spark that would set it off. But something went wrong. In the movie, it's supposedly sabotage. So there you are. What use is a blue whale at a birthday party? Alan, I'll give you a chance here. I know how you love blue whales. It's not a blue, actually. We should have offered you a blue, but in fact, that is a hump. It's a humper.
That's not real, that photo, is it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Alan's a diver.
A blue whale at a birthday party. Well, they take up a lot of room. You need a big hall.
Yeah.
It's good. I think you're getting there.
Yeah. That's good encouragement. Thanks, Richard.
That's okay.
I think it'd be fun for the kids to get inside, couldn't they? Play
True.
around.
Bouncy castle?
Bouncy arsehole, did you say?
No. I didn't, but by all means.
Oh, Bouncy Castle.
Bouncy Castle.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. Yeah, I'd like
Sue, I'd like to hire a bouncy arsehole if I may.
Oops. No, list things that you need for children's
Well,
party.
my
I'm
kids...
thinking candles.
Yeah,
Candles is one.
my kids love ambergris, so
You're quite right, ambergris does come from the
it'd be
whale,
a
but...
natural for a blue... right, cake?
Parcel.
Pass the parcel.
Balloons.
Yes!
Balloons.
Balloons.
A big whale balloon. Whales filled
Why
with
would a
helium.
blue whale be useful at a
Because it
children's
can
party?
fill up, it's got the largest breath in the world.
Yes!
Because in one breath, a blue whale could inflate 1,250 balloons.
Wow. OK,
That's a spoilt child.
I take that... I take that point, but I'm fairly sure it's never happened.
But also, logistically, it would be almost impossible.
Like, whales live to be very old as well, don't they? So I would like one
yes.
at my birthday party to make me feel both young and slim.
Yes. Whales aren't particularly slim, though, Lucy.
No, but I would next to a whale.
Oh, I see, next to a whale. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm so
I'm not asking
stupid.
for much of a compliment,
No,
Stephen.
no,
Just, you know.
I do
You're
apologise.
not going to be able to get next to the whale because he's in the balloon shed, pumping away. One. Two.
Just going, those dolphins have it easy, don't they?
I'm going to give you some bags now and ask you to blow these up. Now, you may say that's easy enough.
Ah, time for the controversial autoerotic asphyxiation round.
Oh, John, that's so rude. There you are.
Here we go.
That's terrible.
I'd just like a belt and a tangerine now.
So you're blowing up. What you're doing is you're trying to blow... All right.
Look, how clever she
How
is.
did you do that? I'll show you here. It's called the Bernoulli effect. OK, watch this. One blow. So there you are. Just one blow from a distance, like that, which you did. So you get the points there, Lucy. That's very impressive. So put them away now. You can put them away now. But that's the Bernoulli effect, which is rather impressive, isn't it? You can try that at home, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Go to the little cupboard under the sink, boys and girls, where Mummy keeps all those little bin liners.
And her gin.
Yeah, don't put them over your head, and just do that little effect. And then Mummy and Dad will be very impressed.
Stephen, tell me to do it, Mummy!
Now, who said the most beautiful girl or woman in the world would be a matter of indifference to me, but tall soldiers, they are my weakness?
You did.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That was very pleasing.
Was it someone who had a tall soldier pointing a gun at them at the time?
You think so? This person was obsessed with tall soldiers, tall people generally.
Was it my PA, Kelly?
She would be.
She is literally all she wants in the world, if you know anyone, is a ginger squaddy. It's all she wants. It's all she wants.
But a tall ginger
A
squaddy.
tall ginger squaddy, or failing that, a ginger roofer. So if you know anybody...
All right, you heard it here
Yeah.
first.
I do have I have an inkling about this, but I can't remember. It was a squadron Potsdam.
Ah, brilliant. Absolutely right.
I-
Yeah, there were the Potsdam giants. Yeah, absolutely right. It was King Friedrich Wilhelm the Fürst of Preuss, or Prussia, who was the father of Frederick the Great. And he became king in 1713, as you all know. And he was obsessed with tall soldiers. And he would kidnap them, he would recruit them, he would
like
get them
your
from
PA.
any country that wanted to be in with Prussia, which was just growing as a power. He himself was only 5'5", so he
Taller
wasn't
than me.
very tall. But he just got them from all over the place. In fact, one of his tallest was a 7-foot Irishman called James Kirkland, who was the hero of the regiment of Potsdam giants. And he paid fathers for tall sons. He paid tall women to have sex with tall men so they could have tall sons. He was, and if he
He
was...
sounds like my kind of guy.
he was if he was unhappy, he'd get 200 or 300 of his giants.
No, don't finish this sentence.
No. Preceded by tall turbaned Moors with cymbals and trumpets of the Grenadiers' mascot, an enormous bear, to march for him to cheer him up. And they'd do this through his bedroom if he was ill.
A march for him.
With a bear as
How
well.
big was his bedroom?
No, it must have been, well, enormous. He was an emperor.
He wants big men and a bear marching to strict rhythm, which you can find in Old Compton Street most Fridays.
I think he'd want them to do tall stuff.
Like reach on high shelves.
Stuff off shelves or something.
Yes, that's true, plucking.
I mean,
But
what's
you
the
know-
point of having them just walking up and down?
I don't know. He had his particular thing.
The reason I've heard of this is because when I got together with my husband, someone made this reference because I'm 4'11", my husband is 6'5", which is like
Justin.
Is that yes? In the bedroom, it's like a ventriloquism act that's gone really serious. Horrible image,
So
I know.
right.
But
Well, yes.
well, Frederick would have loved it, obviously.
Yeah.
But,
What does he make you do while he's drinking a pint of water? I bet it's not the alphabet.
No. So, and almost 100 years, this regiment was part of the Prussian army.
Is that because they live longer?
No, I don't mean that each individual member. They did live longer.
They get gradually shorter.
It was a very...
to be tall.
Yes, King Frederick William of Prussia liked a tall soldier, but why was Sir Billy Butlin such a little devil?
Holiday camps.
Butlin's holiday camps?
Yeah.
Minehead, Scarborough, Filey...
Skegness.
Skegness. Yep.
Were the chalets little?
So, no, but Billy Butlin himself,
Was he tiny?
he was. And if you think about the age he is, you might be able to work this out.
Second World War.
No.
First World War.
First World War, that's the generation he was. And in the First World War, they had something to make people fight, which was called...
Bromide.
No.
It was a law.
Oh, because
Conscription, yes.
Conscription.
But one of the things that could get you out of being conscripted was that if you were...
Tiny.
If you were small.
did he pretend to be bigger to?
No, he, as it were, fell under a particular desperation that the British Army...
Did they start a short army?
Yes,
Like the...
they literally did. Lord Derby, the Earl of Derby, said, now, hang on, there are a whole load of short people, as it were, getting under the wire. And all these tall people are fighting and dying for us. We want more people to die for us. There simply aren't enough people dying. And all these short people are living. So we're going to have a short brigade. And they were known as the Bantams, the Bantam Brigade. And they were. I know.
Presumably quite good. You could play on the opposition's or, the opposing army's sense of perspective.
Yeah.
Some way, you're like...
Those soldiers are really far away.
They have edges.
They are no danger to us.
These were men under 5'3", and Billy Butlin was one of them. They became known as the Devils, in fact, the Devil's Dwarfs, because they were so... the reputation for brawling and mischief. They were very, very aggressive. Here they are being inspected by a splendid man in moustache. And
German shin injuries up 75%. Our legs are being shot away from us. We do not know why.
Surely they should have just put them on each other's shoulders in a long coat.
Oh, yeah.
the most famous of them was called Henry Thridgold, who was only 4'9", and he was believed to be the shortest soldier ever to have served in the British Army. There he is next to quite a tall Scottish soldier, but that's a short chap, but chirpy and cheerful and ready to lay down his life for our country.
I hope you
Tell you
don't
what,
shake hands
that's,
with him.
Hey, now.
That's given my husband and I a whole new avenue for bedroom role play.
You be Henry, and I'll be a Scots Guard.
Well, there you are. So next time you go on a Butlin's holiday, you can say, well, thank you, Billy, for putting your life at risk, despite the fact that you weren't as tall as most soldiers.
And he survived.
He survived in order to create these holiday camps. Yeah.
With tiny beds.
With... Now, bearing in mind the Potsdam Giants and the Devil Dwarfs, what do you make of these? Alan?
Oh, no.
Yes, absolutely.
Strap on your feet
Phil,
to make you
could pass
taller.
those to Phil? Thank you. Alan, these are for you.
I'm sort of guessing I'm not going to need any.
You're not. Lucy, these are for you.
Oh, I feel...
Whoa.
It's a Naomi Campbell moment coming on here, isn't it?
So, actually, we're going to do a little experiment. There's an artist called Hans Hemmert, and in 1997, he created a piece, an art project.
I've seen this.
Have you? It was called Level.
That's right.
And the idea was that he made these things so that everybody was 6.5 foot tall, essentially 2 meters, being a European. So you're 6'8".
I'm 6'7".
6'7". You're 5'11". I'm 6'4" and a bit. You are
I'm 6 foot, but I've got creepers on, so I'm 6'1".
6'1" at the moment. And Donnie?
4'11".
See, I
yeah,
know
4'11".
can't see Lucy.
Yeah, we can't actually see her at the moment.
They are half my height, that's it.
So rather than get you to wear these, we've actually given you blocks. So we're all going to stand up to show what this artwork revealed. What you have to do, Richard, is duck down to be the same size as Alan.
All right.
I have to go on tiptoes to be a couple of inches taller. And you have to stand on your block. Come on,
Which one am I? This one?
There it is.
Oh, this one.
Philip will help you out. And we're now all the same height.
Oh.
It's an artwork. Isn't that astonishing?
You see what that's like, Lucy?
This is the happiest I've ever been.
You tire of it. You
You're
tire
so
of it.
far
I
from the
promise.
desk when you want
I
to
know,
write
right?
something down. When you want to put your tea up, you've got to go all the way
I know.
down.
It is hard with us because, you know, you have to move things onto higher shelves as children get older. I can't reach the cleaning fluids in my house now. I'm like a borrower. It's ridiculous.
So, let's sit down.
Careful now. Health and
Careful.
safety.
The one thing when you are 6'7" or you're very tall is you endlessly get asked to be on police identity parades.
Oh, that's exactly what will
But
happen.
you do. Yeah, at least once a week people say, yeah, 15 minutes, do you, sir? I think because they don't have a ready pool of people to do it.
That's
And a lot of
bizarre.
tall people commit crimes.
Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
And we get
I'm an
away with
example.
it.
I think what it is, a lot of short people report crimes.
Yeah. But you can
He
see...
was huge. How tall? At least 6'6" or something. He was huge.
A giant of a man he was.
Anyway, the idea was an artwork called Levels, which was something to do with the idea that people from business and meetings and everything else should all be the same size. Anyway, what are the gimps searching for?
That's a Travelodge curtain.
I love that you
It is.
recognise it.
That is... Anyway, that's the curtains.
It's impossible to tell with the old zip done up. It would help, like, you probably don't know where the station is, do you?
Is it an acronym?
Ah.
Great, giant, Italian men, posturing slowly.
Great is right, great.
Is the MP magnetic pulse?
No, but I love the way you're thinking.
All right.
Is it searching for an extraterrestrial
It
life?
is searching, but it's searching for something much
for a
closer to
hero.
home or indeed wider in the universe.
Parking space. P.S. Parking space.
It's a great something, and the S is a search. So it's a great something, something, something search. It's using computers.
Michael
Since
Parkinson?
1996.
Mum porn.
It could have been a man porn, so that's not that difficult. But in 1996...